Morning.
Good morning. We're live
Joe.
from the Neighborhood Hive.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. We've got the roastery behind us,
There's a lot going on back there.
Jeff Lab and Workshop.
Mad science going on.
Yeah, figured it's coffee talk. We better get the coffee in there.
I think it's time, and it's moved around a little bit. If you haven't been in the last couple of days, there's been a few changes in the location, and things have been moving around just a little bit, as well as our sponsor.
Yeah,
for Coffee Talk is now sponsored by the Neighborhood Hive Bar.
Yeah, the coffee bar at the Neighborhood Hive.
Yeah. Kind of excited about that. I'm drinking some Sugar Hive blend today. What you working on?
Costa Rica,
Yeah,
I think.
home. All right. What we brought from home. But we've there's a lot of things going on here that are really excited about. I think the future. It's going to take us a little while to get things kind of really dialed in, but we're excited for it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm really excited for. We brought Soul back. So if you remember Soul, she's worked here before.
One of our favorite baristas and artists.
Yeah, Trista.
Yeah,
you know her. She's our coffee bar manager now.
And we still have Bree as well.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna try my hand at some barista. So come in from 11:45 to 4 today. I'll make you a drink.
That's right. Especially if you're into mochas. This guy's got a mad mocha. He and I, that was like our jam when we were running the bar before. And
I forgot about that. I have to have a mocha.
The mocha, we'll have a mocha off.
A mocha off. All right. Stay tuned for a mocha off.
Yeah, there's gonna be some stuff. We have a special guest today too. We're gonna tease you with that one just a little bit. We'll have them in.
Yeah.
But we had a few other things we wanted to talk about. One of the things that we were just talking about with the coffee bar. There's going to be some on the weekends. We're going to have Fillings and Emulsions.
Fillings and Emulsions.
We're super excited about that. If you haven't experienced that place, you're missing out.
Yeah, Chef Al gave us a tour of his kitchen the other day. Fantastic. And we're super excited there. A little higher end pastries, sweets, and savories. So
and worth every penny, in my opinion. Yeah.
And will be available at our coffee bar along with the Dough Lady fresh cinnamon rolls on Tuesdays and Fridays.
She's also going to have her stuff back in stock this week with her frozen stuff as well.
The cooler, frozen.
Right? Yeah. And that was amazing how many cinnamon rolls actually sold during the holidays. You guys really, she's an amazing human, and they've got a lot on their plate right now, but they still manage to stock us up as often as they possibly could.
Yeah, we got our Baby's Bagels back. They took a short holiday break, so they got delivered today.
About an hour, not even an hour ago. Half an hour ago they were in, and it smelled like fresh bagels and fresh sourdough.
Everything seasoning.
Trip came in and brought a fresh load of sourdough as well.
Yeah, so Mim's bread's in stock, so come on in.
It's a nice snowy day. Get yourself a hot loaf.
Yeah.
Or bagel.
Yeah. The construction out front should be wrapping up here.
I heard that.
Within the next couple of days. They were cleaning and sweeping yesterday.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be moving the barricades and everything down a few blocks.
Oh, that's going to be nice.
So watch for that. That'll be happening.
A little bit easier to get in and out of the parking lot. You guys had Sugar House Community Council last night.
Community Council
parking lot was stuffed.
It was stuffed. Yeah. We had the state lawmakers, several of the Democrat legislators here, talking about a little preview for what's going on this year in the session. I would encourage everybody to go to their representative's website and give them some opinions on what you want to see in Utah. And there's a lot of stuff that you may or may not agree with happening in the legislature this year. So
good idea to get your voice heard.
Get your voice heard and get involved.
So you guys also broadcast that on YouTube, your YouTube channel, correct? So if you weren't able to come to the meeting last night and you really want to know what happened and get the full scoop, I usually get the clip notes from this guy.
Yeah,
but I'm spoiled that way.
Community Council has a YouTube page, Sugar House Community Council, so go check it out.
Check it out. We like to give people as much information as possible. Speaking of information, we have a Dry January fun class with Grandview View Bitters.
Yes, Anne is super excited, and we're really excited to have Anne in here to do a mocktail class with her bitters and just learn how to make some dry January drinks. And, so it's a little fun.
It's good times. That's on the 13th, and that's at 11 a.m. Then you can check that out. What else we got going on? We got some soaping classes, right?
Oh, we got a lot of soaping classes coming up. So the one on Saturday, the 6th, is sold out.
Oh, cool.
But you can go to oleoskin.com and you can find an advanced class that's available on the 14th. You can find just a basic lavender milk soap class that is on the 21st. And then another advanced swirl class on the 28th. Those tickets are available at oleoskin.com.
So when you're talking advanced, does that mean you have to have participated in a soaping class before?
Yeah, if you've been to one of our other soaping
classes.
Chunking
out all that early phase of coming into this with some skill.
You're going to miss the education on, but you've already got the education on the basics of how it works, how the sodium hydroxide creates the soap, and how everything cures. Now, one of them, you're going to learn how to do a pencil line on the 14th. Or on the 28th, it's a swirl class.
Seems cool to me.
So Yeah, you take 2 different colors, throw them together, and Jen's going to teach you how to do all that expert stuff.
Excellent. That sounds like a lot of fun. I know people enjoy the soaping class, but I think taking it to the next level is something that happens to me in the coffee roasting classes quite a bit as well. And that's something that people are constantly like, hey, how do we get in on the next level of this?
Yeah.
So yeah, we have some new cupping classes we're going to start coming.
That's what I want to hear.
Next month. We are kind of filled up right now. We have a private class in January, as well as a starter class for our tasting. And we'll keep you up to date on those guys when we open up some more classes on that. But yeah, so cool stuff. That's what we like to do.
I got one of your AeroPresses for Christmas.
He's been tinkering.
We have some accessories here for coffee.
We do.
Now, so
we do.
If you're looking for an AeroPress or a mug or to-go bottle, come check out what the Bean Hole has to offer.
For sure.
It's fantastic.
We still have nitro on tap at the bar as well. So if you're interested in that, I know we still have some diehard nitro folks out there. But, we talk about fish a lot. We have fly tying tonight. If you're interested in coming to that, the Fish for Garbage folks and myself and a few other characters will be here tonight. Please RSVP at theneighborhoodhive.org. Sign up for that just so we know. It helps us get enough chairs out. We had a lot of fun last month. It was the first one that we had skipped a month, and there were some really fun things that happened. And if you guys are interested in doing that, you can bring a friend, 21 and over. You can bring a beverage if you like, and come hang out and rub elbows with some really fantastic tires. You can tie. There's some stuff here if you want to bring a friend that has nothing. You can probably tie something
or just hang out.
Exactly.
When I pop in, I just come and hang out and hobnob, and
it's a fishy sort of affair. But speaking of fishy sort of affairs, we have a very special guest today. I alluded to that earlier. Mr. Hayden Cook from the Utah Cutthroat Slam competition.
Come on in, Hayden.
Not really a competition, more of a fundraising sort of affair. Welcome, buddy. How are you?
Hello.
It's good to see you again.
Yes, it's good to be here.
We appreciate you being here. Let's just cover this for those that don't know. What is the Cutthroat Slam?
The Utah Cutthroat Slam is like a conservation sort of way of encouraging anglers to support native fish in Utah. In Utah, the cutthroat trout is the only native species of trout, and all other species have been introduced over the past 100 years or whatever. Rainbow trout, brown trout, brook trout, lake trout, anything else was introduced. And so what happened is as the settlers came, they sort of wiped out cutthroats, and it was something that we realized kind of too late in some cases. But around the 70s, we realized that we really needed to protect these fish. And so then a lot of conservation from that point forward started happening. And we started saving different little populations of cutthroat trout across the state. And so the Utah Cutthroat Slam helps earn money to fund projects that help cutthroat trout.
So you're actually restoring areas that were their native drainage and possibly taking out those non-native species in order to create that safe space for these guys to get off the endangered list.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you say the settlers wiped everything out, was that because they thought they were evasive, or it was a easy food source for them?
It was multiple ways. So one, for example, one of the favorite stories is that Utah Lake used to be an incredible cutthroat trout fishery. They were pulling in nets with tens of thousands of pounds of cutthroat trout. Yeah. But because they fished it so aggressively, and because of farming and mining and all these things that they did, the irrigation totally wiped out all their sources of being able to spawn. And ultimately they just caused a population collapse. And because of them introducing non-native species as well, it just completely decimated populations across the state.
That's amazing. Bummer. So, but through this, you're raising funds, and there's some new stuff, right? There's you win a medallion if you complete your slam.
Exactly. So the Cutthroat Slam, at this point, we've had over 1,300 slam completions, and it's just impressive. This huge milestone that so many people have stepped up and wanted to help the Cutthroat Slam. They've earned a total of over $91,000 in conservation efforts.
And this is spread across the multiple states now as well.
There are different states that now are approaching us and being like, hey, we want to do this too. We want to have a Cutthroat Slam or some sort of native fish slam to help protect the natives.
So how many native cutthroat are here in Utah? I know there's several species of cutthroat, right? Subspecies?
Yeah. So we have to complete the Cutthroat Slam, you have to catch all 4 native cutthroat subspecies. We have the Bonneville cutthroat trout.
We're pretty familiar with that.
We know the Bonnie.
There's a big one painted on the building just outside. We have the Bear River cutthroat trout or Bear Lake cutthroat trout. You have the Colorado River cutthroat trout and the Yellowstone cutthroat trout.
Yeah.
And that's what's really cool is when we reached 1,000 slams, we decided to go from our original medallion, which was just sort of like a plain fish medallion. It is a cutthroat trout, but just sort of like a generic picture of one. And we went to artist Tim Johnson and had him design us a actual Colorado River cutthroat trout.
Wow, that is gorgeous.
Artistry for that coin.
And you can tell that's one of my favorites. I love the Colorado.
Yeah,
It's
it is a beautiful one.
Mm-hmm.
And we did 250 of these medallions, but like we just said, we talked about the Yellowstone cutthroat. We just are coming out with our brand new Yellowstone cutthroat medallion. Again, artwork by Tim Johnson.
You got to check him out. I actually read his story the other day, and it's pretty fascinating to me how his dedication. It reminds me of a lot of anglers that had to do it on their own. It wasn't necessarily their family's quest to go out and catch trout. They just got the bug themselves and went.
Yeah,
So,
we have a news section on the UtahCutthroatSlam.org website, and you can go on there and you can read articles talking about the new medallion, talking about Tim Johnson and his love of native fish and him doing the artwork for the Cutthroat Slam. And it's just really cool that we've reached these milestones.
Sure. And there's also information on how to go about catching some of the more difficult species, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, there's even videos that are on the website that can even give you advice for how to catch some of these native species.
Very cool. Very
So
cool.
if I'm not mistaken, you're not just carrying around those medallions. You've actually earned those medallions, right?
These are medallions that I have earned. I've actually earned 9 cutthroat slams myself.
Just in Utah?
Just in Utah, yeah.
Indeed.
I'm working on the 10th one.
We have the gallery collecting.
Yeah. We have our favorite artist, Mr. Chris Peterson, loitering around back in the back as our he's giving us a half cheek
Peanut
production
gallery.
today. Yeah, the peanut gallery. Well, we also, when we were talking about the Bonnie Wall out back, that's why part of the reason Chris was here as well. And, we takes a lot of volunteers to make things happen. And we love the Bonnie Ball that we throw every year. It's been a lot of fun. And over the years, the last 2 years, it's grown a lot. We've learned a lot. And Mr. Chris, there he is right there. Hi there, buddy. Yeah. Sneak on in here. And so Chris painted that wall, and he's since done a wall in Vernal for the Colorado.
Yep,
correct.
That's right.
And the Utah Wildlife Walls Project has really taken off, and we are really proud of the fact that we were kind of the flagship for that. It was a nutty idea, standing on a scaffold with Chris, painting a logo on the side of the neighborhood hive almost 2 years ago now. And he just kept drilling over that wall. We got to paint that wall. I got this idea. We got to do it.
Well, again, I think it first started with like a 10 by 10 foot section, and we ended up with 125 feet.
You got to paint the whole wall.
You got to paint the whole wall. You can't do a snapshot in there. But part of what makes the Bonnie Ball work, and part of what makes Fly Tying Night work, and part of what makes the Cut Slam work is volunteers. And today we'd like to honor Mr. Hayden behind me with an award that we're calling the Bonnie Keeper. And this is going to be an award that we hand out every year. He's going to make the plaque, but there it is right there. The official Bonnie Keeper. Isn't that thing beautiful?
That's incredible.
Hand painted
by
Aiden Cook.
No relation.
No relation to me.
He was one of the winners for the Celebrate Utah Wildlife Contest, and he volunteered to do that. He's on a mission now in Indianapolis, but he did this before he left.
That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Holy cow. Speech. That is so cool. I love the cutthroat trout. Ever since I got involved with the slam, I just got addicted to it, and I kept bugging Brett Prettyman, who's in charge of the slam, like, hey, can I be involved in some way? And just one thing led to another, and here I am helping with the Cutthroat Slam, and I help here at the Hive with the Bonneville Cutthroat Tank. And
so that's what this is about, really, is that cutthroat tank. So when we first painted the mural on the wall, I threw this idea out to these guys that we should look into getting some actual cutthroat trout inside the hive, and it somehow all worked out.
It did. There's a lot of participants in that.
And Brett Prettyman helped to facilitate that, but Jed here has really been the Bonnie Keeper for the last year plus that we've had the Bonnies here on site.
Well, that's a passion project. It's one of those things that we have. That the tank that we have here was in the Dilworth Elementary School where my kids have gone, and the Trout in the Classroom program was really what kind of helped me facilitate getting that tank inside. But having some help and having Hayden be passionate about taking some responsibility and just helping out, it's a big job. We love those fish dearly. He has his own tank at home too, so we know what it takes to keep a tank looking good and keep our fish happy. And that's a big part of it. And we're happy to produce this guy for him. Actually, this guy was a convert. He, like Chris said, he was painted. This used to be a brown trout that was donated by our friend, Mr. Phil. And it was a trap shooting award back in the 70s. For some odd reason in Bakersfield, California, they gave out brown trout fish awards for trap shooting. And so it's evolved into a Bonnie Keeper award, which is much more fitting.
I would say so. I have a soft spot for Bonneville. So.
So in the next year or so, we'll start getting somebody else to help come in and sort of mentor along.
Sure.
And then this award will travel to a new Bonnie Keeper in the future, and then forward on from there.
Love it. That
So,
sounds like a great idea.
Hayden is a
Congratulations.
soon-to-be dentist, so I expect to see that like up on the
yeah.
office wall.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
But we'd like to thank you very much. We thank Mr. Chris as well as Brett Prettyman and Utah Wildlife Walls. It takes a lot of folks to make things like that happen. And,
Sure does.
we Derek and I get a lot of credit for, being inside the building. It has a beautiful mural on the outside, but we're very proud of it. It's something that we're very passionate about. Fish for Garbage folks, everybody that helps participate and make things happen, all the volunteers, there's so many. But please, hang out, come see what it's all about. Let's just keep this thing going, and we're going to get all these walls done.
That's right. We got a whole bunch on the docket for
That's
the next
cool.
couple months.
What do you think is going to be the next one?
Well, we have funding for walls in Moab. We're
Cool.
looking at St. George. We have a wall. We have part of the funding for elk mural somewhere in Summit County. So we're looking for a big wall up there.
Yeah.
And we actually got some seed funding from the Cutthroat Slam grant money, actually, to fund a Bear River cutthroat in its native range. So
Nice.
there's a couple of different municipalities up in that range that are entertaining the idea. And
What is that, more like Brigham City, Logan area?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Very cool.
so,
We're excited to get an update. You'll have to come back and visit us. Let us
yeah,
know.
when we get a little more solid
Yeah.
info, I'll be back.
I'd like to see a June sucker in Moab, but that's probably
We're working on a Razorback sucker.
Razorback,
in
all right,
Moab.
fair enough.
That's
Cool.
actually happening.
Cool.
But a June sucker, we're talking about at the Provo River Delta.
Oh, that'd be good.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
That makes sense.
very cool. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. I think we're about.
I think that wraps it
I
up
think we've
pretty
kept
much.
you as
Yeah.
long as we need to. Be careful out there. It's a little snowy this morning. I know it's been a kind of a lackluster winter, but remember, slow down.
And don't forget, neighborhood hive hours, 8 to 7, Tuesday through Friday, and then 8 to 4, Saturday and Sunday. Come visit.
Come hang out.
Yes.
Check it out.
Cheers
guys.
everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's super cool.